Sakara. Situated roughly 22 miles south of Giza, this southern region of the pyramid field has long been known as a major piece of the Memphite Necropolis and is a royal burial ground for several Egyptian kings, dating back to the First Dynasty. As the dilapidating pyramids and mastabas protrude above the sacred sands of Saqqara, the true power and purpose of this region has puzzled alternative and mainstream researchers. As more relics are revealed, what lies beneath the sands of Sakara offers a glimpse into a potential pre-diluvian underworld that defies all understanding.
If you're to pick a particular dot of real estate on the planet, this massive planet that we live on, let's pick a dot that is the strangest, most enigmatic, most powerful. You're talking about the west bank of the Nile near Cairo, present-day Cairo, encompassing the Great Pyramid Complex, encompassing Djoser, the Pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara, Abu Sir, Abu Ghurab, this massive field of energy and focused intention that we can't even duplicate today. And you have to ask, why was it built? Who built it? What is going on here? And as I look at it, the answer has to involve Orion. It has to involve resurrection. And ultimately, it likely involves the Earth itself and this concept of the Earth as a generator of resonance and Earth energy.
Arguably the biggest and most important cemetery, mortuary area and necropolis is that of Sakara, which served specifically Memphis. In fact, they're both on exactly the same latitude. So Sakara is where the demarcation is between North and South Egypt, or Upper and Lower Egypt. And it's a massive, sprawling area of tombs, of mastabas, of pyramids, and other much stranger structures.
And when it comes to trying to understand Sakara, it's very, very confusing and, disorientating because there's so much going on underground. That's what's so bizarre about this place. Some people have suggested that there's some kind of magic there, some kind of power that's in the land. So we've got this real mystical world going on beneath the surface.
As of 2020, only about 1% of the known archaeological field has been excavated in Sakara. And this is what makes so much of the mystery so fascinating for this generation and future generations, for so many people, young people. The idea is that everything has already been found, everything's already been excavated. That is not the case with Sakara. We have generations of mystery and exploration that lie ahead of us.
The Step Pyramid of Djoser, referred to by most scholars as being the first Egyptian pyramid, is the most famous monument in this region. According to mainstream, this pyramid was built for Djoser, an Egyptian pharaoh and first king of the Third Dynasty. The purpose and influence of this stairway to heaven has many more questions than answers.
If Sakara truly dates to the time that we believe that it dates, between 12,000 and 13,000 years before present, as part of the Giza complex, the Djoser pyramid probably was not built at the same time. It came later. The pyramid is not in its original form. It is believed that the outer casing has been stripped away, and what we're looking at was never meant to be seen by the naked eye. The 6 levels of the stonework that we see now was never meant to be seen.
When we look at the Step Pyramid, not only is it iconic because of the steps that it has, but beneath it is an even bigger mystery. Because to start off with, a massive, gigantic area was cut out of the bedrock, going down hundreds of feet. And into this was placed a huge sarcophagus chamber. And of course, within this, the sarcophagus of Djoser was contained. But leading away from this massive sarcophagus chamber were a series of tunnels that went off towards the west, the east, and the south. And these went on for many hundreds of yards. And when they were explored, it was found that they contained arguably as many as 40,000 bowls and jars that were beautifully worked in hard stone. Many of these jars were from the pre-dynastic period, so that's beyond 3000 BC. What the hell were they doing there? What was 40,000 jars and bowls doing in these tunnels?
When you're looking at the step pyramid at Saqqara, which was built by Imhotep, the son of Ptah, for his king, Djoser, you're looking at a legacy that points directly to Sirius. Because as the son of Ptah, Imhotep is considered the first polymath on Earth. He's the Da Vinci of his time.
Imhotep was skilled in architecture, philosophy, and medicine. He was also a student of Thoth. We know him better as Asclepius, the god of medicine, holding his rod of Asclepius, which we see as a common symbol for medicine and healing arts.
Asclepius was known as a great healer. And in fact, in mythology, where Orion was stung by a scorpion at his foot, he experienced something that took him to the brink of death. In fact, one would say in many of the stories that actually he died. But he was saved by Asclepius and his rod. The rod of Asclepius being the same as a caduceus symbol, sometimes depicted with only one snake. Asclepius today would be referenced as the constellation Ophiuchus.
Imhotep was an initiate of the mystery tradition, especially the Hermetic wisdom, the tradition that extends all the way back to the Egyptian god Thoth, which brought in alchemy, which brought in study of the stars, which brought in understanding of, alignments with the cardinal directions, the magnetics, how to harness it. All of this wisdom, this ancient wisdom, both alchemical wisdom as well as architectural wisdom, was brought through that mystery school tradition into Imhotep.
All of that comes together at Djoser's pyramid. When you're standing before it, on the outside, you're looking at the step pyramid, the stairway to heaven. Then when you're privileged to go into it, as we can today, and you drop down 90 feet down this shaft, drilled exactly into the center of the pyramid, and there you see his granite sarcophagus, you realize that you're dealing with a multifaceted device or technology. This is all working together. And you recognize that this has extraterrestrial connections as well. This was imported to Earth. And this is the start in the modern era, just 5,700 years ago, of the reinvigoration of this knowledge that came from the stars.